Hey everybody, and welcome back to my Unprocessed Life. So I just got back to my car and got back from work, and now I'm headed home for my carpool. And I had a pretty uneventful day for the most part, except for I didn't have enough fruit. I didn't have enough food at work today, and so I ended up being pretty hungry. Like right now, I am starving. I had all 6 of my bananas, I had 5 oranges, and it just wasn't enough to make it through the day. For whatever reason, the green juice isn't really keeping me. I probably just didn't have enough calories yesterday, which, I had a calorie deficit from yesterday, so today I was super hungry, and the green juice just didn't cut it. The green juice, I drank that at like 6 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, about 6 o'clock in the morning. And, no, I'm sorry, about 5:45. And so that kept me pretty well all the way until about, I don't know, what was it? Maybe 9:30 or 10 o'clock. So, what is that, 5:45? About 4 hours, so I guess that's about right. And it was only a little bit more than 16 ounces of juice, so if it had been 32 ounces, I probably would have easily made it all the way to lunchtime without having to snack and so forth. But it is what it is. So I was faced, and I ate my food at lunch. I ate some bananas for snacks. I ate my food at lunch, and I was all right. But after I ate lunch about 11:30. So 12:30, 1:30, about 2:30, about 3 hours later, I was starting to feel it. Well, now we're 5 hours later getting home, and I'm really starting to feel it to such a degree that it is even impacts my ability to think correctly. Because I will stop mid-sentence and not be able to remember what I was saying because I don't have enough carbs in my system. I have done a poor job of being carved up today, and that has caused me some pain. So that's hopefully not a mistake I am going to revisit come tomorrow. I guess I'll have to just bring a whole lot more bananas for more green juice, one of the two. Of course, I'm out of kale, so now I'm going to have to go with the collard greens in the morning, which I'm not sure how that's going to taste. But I did kind of skip out on some lemons this morning, so I don't know. Green juice is not bad in general. It's actually pretty tasty, all things considered. I think the kale is I think collard greens are a lot less pungent than kale is as far as the taste goes. So I guess we'll just have to see in the morning how it all tastes and comes out. So I don't know what I'm going to eat when I get home. I guess, it's getting cold outside. It's like 40 degrees. It's starting to drop down. So that's one of the tough things that's a little bit tough about being on a raw food diet is that you don't have any warm food. And over the years, you kind of get used to eating warm food, and it's not bad. It's something to get used to. And, you emotionally want things that are, you want soup, right? It's getting cold outside or chilly and temperature's dropping. You think, man, the soup would be good because it'd be warm and it would warm me up. And it wouldn't really. It would taste good going down, but then it wouldn't feel good after the fact. So, not as good anyway. And today I've had 0 fat. So today, I had my green juice and I had fruit, and that's it. And because of that, I'm starting to feel a little some more detox symptoms than I have in the last couple weeks. Even though I've been eating fruit and so forth, I'm still starting to have a little bit of the detox symptoms because that fruit's starting to kick out the bad stuff out of my system at a more increased rate than it has been in the past. So that has been something to deal with a little bit of. But I'm still pretty happy with where I'm at. although I will be honest, there also are some alternative food philosophies that are pretty attractive right now, like the potato cleanse diet, or if you want to call it that, or just even the straight up low-fat vegan, not raw, but just low-fat vegan, like the Firehouse diet. That's not right. It was the forks over knife diet, the the engine 2 diet. Oh my goodness, how crazy was that? So let's see here. Get rid of that real quick. Those are starting to feel, to look a little bit more palatable at the moment. But that's just because of the withdrawal symptoms and because of the way I'm feeling, and because, those microbes that are not good in my gut are saying, hey, we need this stuff, which it doesn't really need. I mean, it does to stay alive, but I recognize that, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't feed them so that I can be as healthy as possible, because that really is the goal, is to reverse the diet, reverse the oncoming diabetes and the fatty liver and a lot of those things. That's really what the point of this is to do it, and not to kill myself in the process, because detoxing too fast and can overload your liver, and my liver's already a little bit compromised, so I don't really want to do too much too fast. And that's something else that I have to keep in mind, which is one of the reasons why I'm drinking a lot of the green juices on a daily basis, to make sure that I'm building up my body, as well as flushing out things. So it's getting rid of the bad stuff, but also making sure that there's good stuff there so that my body can rebuild what it needs to. There are a couple different philosophies in regards to this, to going raw, or to an unprocessed foods type of lifestyle. What you end up having is you have two basic different philosophies. Let's do it now, do it hard, let's just get into it, go through all the detox symptoms, and come out the other side better. The problem with that is, the challenge with that is that can take a long time. The initial part of it, probably the safest way to do that would be on juice, because your body wouldn't have to be processing all of the digestion. So that would probably be the safest way to do it. But you could do it just by going straight up raw food as well, and that would push out a lot of toxins. Or if you did something like the Gerson therapy, which is, a lot of juice and so forth, that one, because of the way that's put together, you could detox way too fast and hurt yourself on that. So you need to make sure, if you were going to do the Gerson therapy, you would want to make sure that you followed their protocol to a T, coffee enemas and all, because your liver would need that assistance to be able to deal with the detoxification that would happen as rapidly as it would. So that's something to be aware of. So there's the hardcore guys, the people that are like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to do it. Like, I think Rich Roll did it that way. Of course, he didn't go raw. He just went vegan. Who else did that? I can't remember now off the top of my head. There was somebody who was just like, I'm just going to do this. And it's tough. It's really tough. I've been there before. The last time I was able to go raw and stay raw for 7 days once before. And a couple times before that, I attempted it as well. I think the first time I made it 2 days, and it was juice only. And I felt just terrible. And I was like, well, I don't know that I want to do this. And then I did a mixture of juice and other stuff. And then I made it, I did it without juice. I did it with just fruit for about 5 days. And I didn't really know what I was doing. And I highly recommend that if you're going to do this, you research it and you know what you're doing. Because if you don't, you can have all sorts of challenges. The time that I went raw for like 5 days and just did fruit, I didn't eat enough. I didn't have enough water. And what happened was it made those detox symptoms super crazy. And so what was happening was that a lot of I was detoxing and I was going to the bathroom a lot, and I was going, so much stuff was coming out that it was just ripping me a new one. And by day 5, I was afraid to go sit down on the toilet. I mean, because it was like glass shards, baby. It was something else. And I remember because Stark Raven Raw and myself were going to go see one of our favorite comedians, John Caparillo, and I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it to the show because I had, I didn't think I could. I mean, walking wasn't easy, and we decided to go to the show. I was able to find enough medication to get me through it and to get to the show. And at the show, I had some regular food, and that was kind of the end of that. Then I went 7 days after learning the lesson about the water and all that stuff. I went about 7 days, and it was just bad preparation on our part. I didn't have any food, and Stark Raven and I were out. We were out in town shopping, getting stuff. We didn't have any ripe fruit around, and then what ended up happening was we went out and had a cooked meal. And then I fell completely off the wagon after the cooked meal. And that was the end of that until I tried it this time. So now I've gone 2 full weeks, and I'm working on my 3rd week of pretty much straight up raw. I've had a few, and it hasn't been completely low-fat raw vegan, but it has been, I think, pretty good. I think I've done pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with myself on that. But, I guess what I was saying is that you kind of have to know what you're doing, and you have to work on making sure that you have a plan and you understand. Otherwise, it's hard to be successful doing this. It's a challenge anyway, because you have so many things you're fighting already. You have addiction that you're fighting. You have your taste buds that you're fighting, your microbiomes that you're fighting. A lot of those things, because you've just gotten so sick, whether or not you realize it, by eating all that processed crap for all those years, and what's happened to your body, to my body, is that it's gotten into a state where it's just trying to subsist, it's just trying to survive, and it's not really thriving by any stretch of the imagination. And so there's a lot of cleanup that has to be done. If you go to an old beat up house that's run down, and you go to fix it, there's a lot of work to be done. And that's what we have going on here. There's a lot of work to be done. It's not necessarily that all this stuff is bad, and the reason it feels bad, the reason why it's so challenging, is because my house has been so dilapidated for so long that it's just trying to stand up at this point. And what I really need to be doing is I really need to be in a situation where where I'm not just surviving. I need to be trying to make sure that I am thriving, that I'm doing well. And that's the goal. That's where we're going. That's what we're trying to get done. So, I would caution you that if you're going to try to do this kind of thing at some point, make sure you understand. Because luckily for me, I have Stark Raven Raw, who's, been really good at this. She has lots of information. So anytime I have questions, I can just ask her. I don't have to go, and look it up and try to research. She's done all that research for me. So I have a real advantage in having her, help me with this, because I can ask her questions and she'll know. I can say things like, okay, I'm out of kale right now. Will the other greens we have, will that be all right, to get through until I can get more kale? And she's like, yeah, of course it is, with just simple things like that. So it's important to know before you, go at it. Anyway, I am at home and I'm starving, so I'm going to go eat some stuff right now because I'm super hungry. I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I'm going to eat something right after I hit the restroom because I drank a lot of water trying to keep my stomach in control. Maybe pick up a stick or something along the way. Anyway, okay. So thank you for spending time with me. I love spending time with you. I hope you enjoy your time with me. It's so important for me to be able to spend time with you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you for spending your time with me. You can catch me over Instagram, see all the things that I eat, myunprocessed.life, or you can catch me on email at myunprocessedlife@gmail.com. Any questions, so forth. You can always comment down below, or share, or like, or do all three. We'll talk to you later.